What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this video, I want to talk about the Wonder Woman game yet again. Talk about 2025. There was an interesting thing that happened the last couple of days. Now, funny enough, when I've gotten to it, and I saw it when it first happened, I thought, okay, we'll leave it alone for a little bit. And you know what? They actually edited it out, and I feel like the story has kind of ended. So I figure, okay, well, let's kind of recap that, and let's talk about 2025 in general. So this was from Game Rant. I feel like they're not one of these big players in terms of insiders. I really have nothing positive or negative, to say about them if you want my 2 cents on it. But I do, when I think of them, I don't think of like, oh, okay, they got the Tom Hendersons of the world or the Jason Schreiers where they know their stuff, right? Not that they don't know anything, but, they don't have this insider type thing, right? Even IGN sometimes breaks these leak type stories. So this was back when we talked about the video, we made a video on it, right? Where is WB looking to license out some of their games, right? When they overvalued themselves by like $10 billion or whatever the heck that was, right? So they make an article and they go over the news, right? And in that article, they're talking about Harry Potter and they're, doing all that stuff, doing like the videos, I've made, but in the writing format. And then they throw out that the Wonder Woman game is releasing in 2025. And they just put that out there. And that stayed out there for a few days. It was edited, I think, today, in terms of when I'm recording this on Friday, maybe like last night. But it was out there for like a good 2 or so days where it was just, it was as if we knew it already. And the reason why I kind of wanted to leave it, and I figured, okay, well, this would still make a good topic to talk about, I kind of sensed it was a mistake in the way that they just assumed it. Not maliciously, but I think, when whoever was writing the article just thought, yeah, of course the game's hopefully, right, maybe going to come out in 2025. I don't think they had like an insider scoop that the game was going to come out in 2025. Now, again, in terms of like right now, in terms of finishing the story up, it's actually been edited out. So I feel like you can somewhat safely say that it was just an error. It was like the kind of assumption type thing where they just, thought it was going to happen and they put it out there because it wasn't written as if it was breaking news where it's like, hey, due to like our sources said, they always say our sources, right? They didn't say anything like that. They just said releasing in 2025. Okay. So is the game actually releasing in 2025? Well, it may or may not, but it's not because of the Game Rant video, right? God, I hope so. Funny enough, I'm actually, after I beat Life is Strange for the 5th time, I just did that. I'm in the Life is Strange mood. The next game up, in terms of my backlog, is actually replaying Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor, right? It's the 10-year anniversary for that game. And I'm a big fan of the Nemesis system, big fan of that game. A lot of it is just as good as I remember. There's a few things that maybe aren't as great as I remember them being, but I think Monolith is such a talented developer. And it's good timing, not just because it's 10 years for that game, but also because Where in God's Name is their next game, right? I hope it's 2025. We keep going back and forth with the rumors of, like, is the game okay? Is the game not? Obviously, we're all just kind of sitting here, like just moving our fingers, twiddling our thumbs, waiting for any kind of crumb of information. I hope it's 2025. I'll keep saying what I always say about it. I can't believe that they sincerely went from Shadow of War to this game. It doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. A game should not take 7, 8, 9 years. Should not. A game should take 5, 6 years. 6 years max, and that's if you're getting crazy. So I've said it like 1,000 times, but I'll say it again. Like, I really would like to know one day, and I pray to God, honestly, that as we get closer to Wonder Woman and when they start coming out there, right, showing it, talking about it, doing these interviews, somebody, please, with journalistic integrity, IGN, GameSpot, somebody, Polygon, one of you, ask the creative director, what have you been working on for 8 years? What have you been doing? Have you been doing this since you ended Shadow of War? Because the answer should be no. If the answer is yes, I'm very scared. And I might be scared anyway, but I'd be even more scared because I just don't. I feel like that would mean something went horribly wrong at some point, and then there's a 50-50 shot that they fixed that issue or they didn't fix that issue, right? So I hope it's 2025 because every year we go is that we're going to be celebrating the 10-year anniversary of Shadow of War next before we get to the Wonder Woman game at this current rate. They need to show it. They need to release it. not, and I know maybe it always comes off. I always get like a couple comments on anytime I make any video saying something like that. You'll get one or two people that say, let them do their, I think Insomniac, a video on that. Let them do their thing. They'll announce it when they're ready. Look, I'm not literally demanding that we storm the castle, right? I'm just saying in this instance, it's a terrible look. People don't have confidence. I'm one of the most optimistic people out there that cover this game. One of the only. And even I am losing hope by the month. Same thing, by the way, for like Wolf Among Us. There's a couple games I am still kind of high on, even if I lose hope. But yeah, I mean, come on, for the love of God, show the game, release the game. Obviously not before that, don't do it before it's ready, because I guess if you release it and it's, if it's supposed to come out 2 years from now, you release it tomorrow, you're in a big problem there. But see, I don't think that's actually going to happen. You know what I mean? It's going to come out. It's just the communication has been terrible. It's another problem with showing your game too early. We would still have this issue if they never showed Wonder Woman in the first place, but maybe we knew it was a Wonder Woman game, because you could still say, well, it's been X many years since their last game. But if you didn't show it, you know what I mean? If you didn't do the trailer and whatever it was, 2021, like we're approaching 3 years now. Like if you just didn't do that, I don't think you'd have as much of the non-confidence, or maybe, of maybe like the negative comments that are out there. I don't think you'd have nearly as many if you just didn't do anything in general. And in terms of the big three, by the way, like Suicide Squad, Gotham Knights, and Wonder Woman, this is the one that has maybe not taken the longest because of how Rocksteady, and I guess WB, they're all taking too long. But, those were shown off at DC Fandom, and it was a shorter gap between when it was announced and then when it was actually shown off. So please show yourself Wonder Woman. Again, I pray for 2025. I'm honestly not getting my hopes too high. 2025 is the year of GTA as of now. It's the year for like Rise of Hydra. It's the year for maybe a couple other handful of like really big games, a lot of Xbox games, maybe some PlayStation games. And that's kind of like I'm capping it there. If we get Wolf Among Us, if we get games that are in limbo state, that'll be great. But I'm not gonna expect any of these games at this point. Let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, bell icon turned on. I hope to see you all on the next one.